Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our review of our 1 week stay in the UK, having lived in Pakistan for 2 straight years. I think it might be good to revisit a short clip, a 1-minute clip of us finding out that the tickets have been booked. We're in Centaurus for some last minute shopping for Myra. Myra wants a coat because the UK is cold and she doesn't have a coat here. I have a coat. So, what were you saying, Myra?
I was saying, you just read your message and you said it's been booked, and I said, oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, so the ticket's been booked. I've just got the confirmation email just now. So I need to go into the Emirates app to check the booking. So, Myra, from me, you a big thank you for... Should we say who it is or should we keep it silent? For who's booked this ticket for us? Oh, I don't even know when we're going and when we're coming back.
Yeah, you do. You said Friday.
I said Friday to Friday is ideal.
Yeah, but you said arriving Saturday midnight.
Yeah, but we don't know. Oh, right, yeah.
So we're literally going the day after
1st
tomorrow.
of November till the... Yeah, Friday to Friday. Friday to Friday.
Oh my god.
So let's get Myra a coat.
Okay,
and then we need to start packing.
Yep.
Good. Clearly, we were surprised, taken back. We couldn't really compose ourselves.
We were happy, weren't we? We were happy, excited.
Very happy, very happy. But did that happiness remain throughout our travels? That's a question that we can only answer. To be honest with you, with all the comments that I've been receiving over the years on the YouTube channel, and people that are generally contacting me and saying, you know, how can you live there when the schooling, the university is better in the UK and jobs are better paid and you got better opportunities. Life's much more easier in the UK in terms of law and order, etc. So obviously I've got this mindset as well, living away from the UK, that, you know what, I've given a lot up to come to Pakistan. And all the way through the journey, I'm just going to get straight to the point. All the way through the journey, I thought, you know what, at some point I'm going to think, this is it. This is what people were talking about. This is what I'm missing. And I really didn't get that at any point. The only little bit of excitement for me was when we got into Dubai airport and the staff was getting us to queue up properly. And I was like, whoa, wow, I love this, you know, that's food for the soul. Myra was happy, I was happy, and
I was like, wow, we've been lining up since nursery. That's something that you taught. As soon as you go to school, you're taught to line up. And in Dubai airport, they were like, line up, and everybody was in single file, and we were just like, wow, this is what we've been missing. People don't line up in Pakistan.
I just wanted them to shout at us again. Like, I was loving
Fingers
it.
on lips.
So that was the only one moment where I was like, that's what I'm missing. But that was in Dubai. Thereafter, that feeling did not come back again. I just kept feeling this complete and utter disappointment of how I was living in the UK, and why was I really putting up with where I was living and how I was living my life. Just working, you know, just simple things like, you're in a non-Muslim country, right? And this is me coming back after 2 years. I just thought to myself, like, why is it that you go to an all-white area and there's not a masjid there, right? Shouldn't there, you know, after we've been there since the 60s, it'll be 50 years now, and we've had this massive impact, and people are more religious in the UK, as the comment section's always telling me and screaming at me. People are more pious, people are more genuine, people tell the truth more. You're less likely to be done over there, stabbed in the back. Why isn't there, when you go to a all-white area, a masjid there where the whole community like has got together, built that masjid? The white British people that have reverted to Islam, they built this masjid and they're praying there. Why isn't that a thing there? Okay, fair enough, that's too far-fetched. Why is it that, and someone mentions this over and over again, what's the point of going to Muslim land when there's Muslim areas in the UK where every street is literally a Muslim? And there's masjids, there's madrasa, there's talks available on every topic. You can learn, you can practice the deen, you can receive education, you can, implement things in your life to make yourself a better Muslim, essentially, right? So why is it that in those Muslim areas, let's say for example Birmingham, where there's whole areas where it's all Muslim, or Bradford, where there's an entire area that's all Muslim, why is it in those areas that you don't hear the azan out loud from the masjids? That was another thing that crossed my mind. Like, what is it in the UK that we are more focused on progressing in terms of wealth, money, making sure we got the right size house, the right car, the right clothing. You have to work a lot more to be able to afford free range food, free range and organic. And we're striving for this, and we're striving to join courses that'll make us better Muslims. But then, what about the simple things of listening to the azan every day? I know, fair enough, here there's no law and order, as people say, and people lie a lot and stuff like that. But I'm here, I don't lie, I'm not doing people over, I'm listening to the azan. Isn't that going to impact me? What did you have, Myra?
So it's really interesting, actually, when you were mentioning that there's whole areas with Muslims, and why isn't the azan played out loud there? Because we've lived there for a really long time. We have communities that go to the mosque. Like, we Muslims are mosque goers.
50 years.
And you know
in
what
the UK.
I thought? My first thought was, but what if there's like one white lady that lives there and she's not Muslim? Why should she have to wake up at 5 a.m? Or even if they don't do the Fajr azan, why should she have to hear the call to prayer? But then me thinking that is showing that I really did see myself as a second-class citizen. That the white old lady who shouldn't have to listen to the azan, or young lady shouldn't have to listen to it, even if we are the majority in the area, she shouldn't have to listen to it. But I have to give up part of myself.
Exactly, your identity as a Muslim.
And that's something that I've accepted then, being there. And when you were saying that, that's what I was thinking. My mum's next door neighbour is an old white lady. She's really nice. Why should she have to be listening to the azan 5 times a day or 4 times a day? But yeah, that's really interesting. That brought that up for me. So the azan, I think it's really important. It's really impacted me a lot here. I never realised what I was missing until I came here. And you're hearing that there's a reason why in Islam the call to prayer is called out loud. It's reminding people of their purpose. It's reminding us that we need to stop what we're doing and we need to go inwards. We need to think about and reflect on what's beyond this job that I'm doing. What's more important even than cooking dinner? What's more important than anything that I was doing, until just before the azan went off. So for us to be hearing that 5 times a day, it's really shaped our day, hasn't it? We stop, we work around the prayer times. When you go to the masjid, I've started praying straight away when you go into the masjid. Going to the masjid to pray for men is such an important thing. That community feel, standing next to people, even if they scammed you the day before, but going to the masjid and praying with them is doing something, is bringing the community together. There's a reason why you have to stand shoulder to shoulder. We've been going to the masjid here on Fridays, and that standing shoulder to shoulder, I didn't really experience that much in the UK. I didn't go to the masjid much to pray in the UK. But here, hearing the khutbah on the Friday, standing together to pray, it's just it does something to your heart and to your soul that I didn't experience in the UK. Although I was going to religious events and I felt like, I'm really spiritual, but I'm missing that here. We don't go to dhikrs here. I don't have that circle of strong sisters who are really religious and good and remind me of good things. I don't have that here, and I was missing that so much. And that's what I'm missing the most about the UK. But here there's other things that I was missing. And I think that, am I going off on a tangent? Okay. So the azan is really extremely important. And I think what you mentioned about you're here, you're not lying, you're not scamming people, and you're benefiting from the things around you, like the azan, and being able to go to the masjid 5 times a day. And I mean, even in England, you were trying to go to the masjid, as often as possible around work or whatever. But here it's different. Our life revolves around it. Anything else?
You talk about what you want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I kind of talked about what I wanted to talk about, really.
Did you?
I summarised it all up.
Yeah, but you saw your friends and you were.
That's always going to be a positive, that your friends and your family and what you know is there. And that's why people say we're brave, and people say, wow, look what they've done. You know, we've really come out of our comfort zone. We've come to a place where we don't know anything, we don't know nobody, we're starting over from scratch. Why should we put ourselves through that? And we have put ourselves through it. And you know, if it was just for saving a few bob on the electric bill, or it was to do with the weather, we wouldn't have stayed here with all the highs and lows that we've experienced. I've always had the yearning for living on Muslim soil, Muslim land. And people can point fingers and say, you know, what defines a Muslim country? Well, it's up to you what defines a Muslim country. If you think that Birmingham is more Muslim, or Bradford or other cities are more Muslim than Pakistan, and if you're happy and content there, then that's you. But for me, I'm more happy and content on actual Muslim soil, where majority of the community is Muslim, and this is built around our faith. I can go to the shopping mall, I can go to a supermarket and there'll be prayer facilities. I can go to the service station, I can go to any petrol station and they'll have a little masjid there, wudu area. I can go to any food dhaba on GT Road and there'll be prayer facilities there. There's masjids just about everywhere where I can pray, and there's segregation for the women. It's just made for us. It's according to our culture and our religion, the way of life. And if it's made for us, why aren't we living here? I know it doesn't give us the high wages or the benefits or the better passport, but those that have the nationality, you maintain your nationality, live here, you've got all the benefits. And if you're earning online, you've got the money.
Yeah, I would definitely say, you know, even if you've got kids and everything, like what Maulana Rizwan said really opened my eyes about, you know, just come for a year, just come for 6 months.
Try it
With
out.
your children. It's not, don't even come to stay. Just come and experience the culture, experience the scams. Just experience it. What's going to happen? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen, really?
I would say anyone who's looking to relocate to Muslim land, any Muslim land, try it for 6 months, go back to the West, then plan. Then think, okay, I'm ready for Hijrah, I'm ready to migrate to a Muslim country. Don't just plan it now when you've been going there for 2-3 weeks or a month or 2 months. You need to do 6 months and above, and then plan. But yeah.
And even if you're not planning to move,
Yeah.
just experience it. Our
Yeah.
culture is very rich here, and we've benefited. You know, like Farhan was saying, so on reflection,
Yeah.
I really benefited from being in the West, being born there, growing up there.
Yeah.
The education I've had.
And we can take that away with us.
Yeah, and that's something that's mine to keep
Yeah.
forever. Yeah, wherever I go, that, you know, it's shaped me. I've had so many amazing experiences there. All the voluntary work I could do, feeling, you know, safe and comfortable in so many areas. You know, all that stuff. But yeah, when I got there, well, you know, the first thing that really stood out to me was the lining up in Dubai. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. I was like, why is this so comforting?
That was
and then
like
I was like,
proper light bulb moment right there.
it was so comforting because throughout school, the first thing you're taught, you know, is line up,
Order.
get in order, sort yourselves out. This is how we do, and it just felt so comforting and familiar.
And everyone knows it's not rocket science that people don't line up here. They don't even drive on a straight line. If you're even in the bank, I'll be there with the cashier, and there'll be somebody next to me, and somebody there, and somebody here, somebody there.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? So yeah, so that was one thing I noticed. Then when I got to England, and I think it's in the vlog as well, where Farhan's we're walking out of the hotel, and I just stopped and my mouth was open, and Farhan's like, what's happened, are you okay?
I thought something happened to her.
And I was like, the air feels so different and clean to breathe in. And then when we got back to Pakistan, that's what hit me as well, the smog.
Yeah.
And Islamabad doesn't normally have smog, apparently.
Yeah, and it's had it for the first time.
Yeah, and the air was really
Even
thick.
now, you can't really see that far as we normally could.
So yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like the smog. I didn't like the air.
Yeah, this was a real experience for us because we were told 2 days before we were traveling that we're going. The tickets were booked, so it's almost as though we lived here for 2 years straight and we teleported to the UK. So we had that real first-hand experience, and we were really able to compare. And really, straight away, I was annoyed. I was very annoyed. It seemed as though I was set up to go to the UK and I'm going to be like, wow, because the locals were telling me that they're leaving to go to the West. Why have I come here? People in the comment section are saying Pakistan's only good for a holiday, everything's in the West. Why would you leave the UK? You know, the UK's got everything, you're missing out, you're doing the wrong decision, you're going to regret it. I was so annoyed that they're picking up in the comment section all the little nitty-gritty issues in the UK, but yeah, I saw similar things going on in Pakistan, in the UK. Sorry, those way around. The nitty-gritty in Pakistan, but then I saw similar things going on in the UK, but everyone's overlooking it. You know, I can go through hundreds of examples, but we're not. That's not the whole purpose. But yeah, I was annoyed straight away. But yeah, carry on, Mary.
Mm-hmm. So I loved, and I've said this lots of times, that I loved meeting all my family, all my friends. I'm a lot more attached to places and things compared to Farhan. So you know, I wanted to go to you know, where I grew up. I would have gone to see my schools and everything that I'd done. I would have revisited it all if we had time. But what was more important was seeing all the people that I loved, and that's what. Yeah, that's the most important thing to me, really, that I have these attachments to people and things, places. So I was really happy that I got to experience that. And when I came back, the first night I woke up, I remember saying to Farhan, as soon as my eyes opened, I was like, oh my gosh, I've left everybody that I love. And I felt I was really sad that first, like when I'd woken up, I was really sad for an hour. And then I went outside in the courtyard and the sun's shining, and I started hearing the azan. And very quickly, obviously I still, I can't wait to go and see everybody again. I'd love for them to come and visit. I mean, if I had enough money, I'd pay for them all to come and visit. And that's the thing there. Look, I just said that wasn't planned, that I would pay for them to come and visit. I'm not saying I would, if I had lots of money, I'd go every 2 weeks. I'm saying I would pay for them to come here and visit and experience what we're experiencing here. So and then I didn't go out for a whole week actually, because I was just like, wow, that was intense. And as some of you have noticed, I've seen in the comments that I was a bit grumpy because
on that morning that we were traveling back to Pakistan, when we were at Greg's. I was being a bit grumpy. No, I was even grumpy in B&M. I saw it in the day before. I was grumpy. I was exhausted. I was so tired. I just wasn't sleeping very well. I was just so overwhelmed. It was a lot for me, especially like I'm attached. So Farhan's not very attached to things, and he's not very attached, mashallah. I'm very attached. So when I was there, it was just triggering so many different emotions for me. So I was exhausted by that time. I couldn't cope. So I needed a whole week to stay at home. And then when we finally went out, we were driving to Islamabad, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I love it here. Do you remember? Yeah, it didn't take long,
and
did it?
Like, oh,
so that moment they were hoping we would have in the UK didn't happen, but it happened very quickly when we came back. Even for me, within the first 2 days of being back here, straight away I felt comfortable with my own skin. I didn't feel like an outsider. I didn't feel like I don't belong in this country.
Even though we're very different to the people we have that, we're that generation of identity crisis, because our parents are from Pakistan. Both of our parents are from Pakistan. They were born here. They went when they were really young, but still they've held on to their culture, haven't they? They're very traditional, and then we've had to adapt to the culture there. I mean, you went to a school with lots of Pakistanis.
Loads of Pakistanis.
I went to a school where there was only 3 brown people. One boy was mixed race, one was Egyptian, one girl was Pakistani, and I was the Pakistani girl. So
in the whole school,
in the whole primary junior
we had
school,
loads of Muslims in every year. Arabs, obviously it was Asians, Africans. It was a massive mix of Muslims.
So I forgot why I was making that point. I forgot, what was I saying?
So you've been to a school with not many Muslims. I went to a school with a lot of Muslims. and what has that done for us?
So I was talking about the culture. Yeah. So I had to adapt a lot when I was even in primary school. I had to adapt a lot. So in the summer, my mum put on a kurta pajama on me, and I was like, I'm not wearing this. I look like a boy, and nobody wears this. I didn't want mehndi on when I was at school because everything that was different about me, the teacher would celebrate it, but she was pointing it out. I was like 4 years old. She's making me stand up in the class to show everybody that I'm dressed in a way that I don't want to be dressed, and I stand out. She got me to show everybody my mehndi. She thought it was beautiful. She was amazing dresser. But it was constantly pointed out that I'm different. One of the girls said to me in that school, she was like, when are you going to start wearing a tea towel on your head? Samantha. Her name was Samantha. I remember her name. So, you know, that you know, I had to adapt a lot. Luckily I went to an Islamic school. Otherwise I don't know what I would have turned out like. I went to an Islamic school after primary school. So, you know, I've turned out different, but we've had to do a lot of adapting and changing there. But now that we've come back here, there's simple things like seeing buffaloes crossing the road in the capital city. It's so much more close to fitra, seeing natural things happening. People, you know, driving their goat home on a motorbike, or there's a village right next to the city and you could see people growing crops or walking. And
or today, like when we drove into Islamabad, when they had chickens upside down to sell them on the side of a highway.
On the side of it. So just, you're always so much closer to something very natural, very, you know, how people used to live.
Do we need to live in a modern society with everything that we want under our fingertips or call away? Is that how we should and aim to be living? It's
far from fitra, and I think that's what I'm trying to explain in a really long way, that here in Pakistan I feel a lot more close to fitra, as in my natural state. And my natural state is that I should be seeing earth. I should be seeing earth. Everything shouldn't be tarmacked. Everything shouldn't be you know, perfectly built up and solid and concrete.
And that's what it is there, isn't it?
There's no animals, you have to drive.
Everyone's within four walls.
I feel a lot like I'm a lot more close to fitra here, with the azan, with the animals, with the crops being grown, with people living very, you know, simple lives. I know, so essentially what I'm saying is I'm not living a super simple life. I'm not growing crops, but I like seeing people growing crops.
You like it to be around you.
I like to be around it
rather than have to watch a YouTube video.
And those things are so important to us. They're so important for us to be physically, mentally balanced.
Didn't you say that you could be safe in the UK walking around with your friends? What would happen here in Pakistan? All the eyes will be on you?
Maybe not all the eyes, but more eyes than I'm comfortable with. So, you know, me and my friends, we were walking around in Sheffield, and I was really comfortable. And I guess it's the area that I grew up in. I was in the area that I grew up in, and that's a really nice area. People, you know, people are different there. So I felt so comfortable being in that environment. But here in Pakistan, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like people look at me a lot. And it's not because it's, you know, because I don't know, I'm really attractive or anything.
People have this
it is just
massive
because generally people stare.
Curiosity, staring issue.
Yeah.
They want to know your business. They want to know every second of your life. They like sharing information. You know, this is why Pakistan doesn't have that many CCTV cameras. Is because you got living CCTV cameras everywhere.
People are always watching, yeah.
And they'll share the information from one house to the other house, to the other house, to the other house, to the other house. 5 streets down, 1 year ago they did that as well. Oh yeah, and then, you know, it's like they can write a whole biography about you.
But that's everywhere. That's not just Pakistan. You go to a all English white village in England, and the village life is like that, where everybody knows everybody's business, and they're all talking about everything because there's nothing happening. So it's just human.
They're not getting
Some
up
people
to
are
anything.
it's just you know.
But then again, that is depending on area to area. So if you were living in one of the nice societies, let's say for example, I was speaking to 2 brothers the other day who live in Barry Enclave. They don't have people that are wondering what they're doing in their life or watching them as soon as they're walking out, and the women can walk around freely, and it is safe, it is secure, it is clean. They've got parks, they've got all the facilities there. The gas and electric doesn't really turn off, and they feel very safe. Women can walk around. So again, you know, it depends where you live. We live in an area where we're the only people that were born abroad in the UK, in a Western country. and we've come back. We've chosen to come into Pakistan to live, and we are living amongst labourers essentially. Whereas in Bari Enclave, you're looking at the middle class, the upper middle class, who can afford to live there, who can afford all these.
Who have probably travelled, who have, they're a different type of people.
And the kids would have probably studied abroad. They would have studied in the UK, for example.
Yeah, they've had more exposure, whereas you and I here in Wakend, we're living in like proper Pakistan, aren't we?
Yeah, so our experience is specific to us. Hence why I say spend 6 months here, because that gives you a chance to try and experience different areas, maybe for a month in that time as well. And really, when it comes to someone did mention this in the comments, that look, there's no security for women. As a man, if you can't protect the women folk in your house or in your home, then you shouldn't really be considering making hijrah. Stay where you are, because at least then the women can fight for justice if they need to.
They can look after themselves in the UK. They don't need men then. In the UK, you don't need a man to feel safe. Whereas in Pakistan, sometimes you do.
Yeah. So it's all down to you as an individual. What else was there?
The other thing was actually that really stood out to me was when we got to Dubai and I saw lots of skin.
Oh yeah.
Here in Pakistan, Pakistan's
shock.
Very conservative, and so women will wear short sleeves. Men will wear shorts, or women might not wear a headscarf, but it doesn't really go beyond that. You might see arms, but you don't see what we were seeing in Dubai, and honestly,
it felt like women were naked.
Yeah, and the men. And the men really wearing really tight clothes.
And then billboards with that going on, and then all the alcohol in Dubai airport that was offered.
It was crazy. It felt like such a cult. It felt so.
It felt like it's not a Muslim country to me.
And a culture shock, wasn't it?
Yeah, everywhere alcohol, and they're all drinking.
I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I need to look away. Should I be seeing all this skin? And I was like, what is going on? I've grown up in England.
Somebody did say this to me.
In 2 years, I've changed so much.
He goes,
it became weird.
He said to me as an imam, I am saying that I have seen a lot of immodesty in the UK. Even me, it's not like people that are going out nightclubbing or going to places where you are going to see it, like the beach. Let's just say the beach, for example. You're not openly traveling out to these places where you're going to be exposed to it. Just your day-to-day life, whether you're going to a supermarket or going out and about, you're going to a town city centre, you're going to see it. You're going to see it everywhere. And you're telling me that's not going to have an impact on you. The billboards, the advertisement, the posters, even all the adverts that you get there in the West, even on YouTube.
And I guess more than anything, it's against our culture. It's not, religion is religion, and even culture. So in Indo-Pak culture, generally the culture is that people are a little bit more covered up. They only show certain parts of their body. They don't show everything.
And that was horrendous, man. What we saw from Dubai onwards was crazy.
We're doing something that's against our culture when we're living there. That's what I'm saying by we've had to adapt so much. That's what I really want to point out here. Because I was speaking to somebody.
We do put up with a lot, don't we? There?
Yeah, I was speaking to somebody and she said that when you've gone to England, like when you've grown up in England and that's the point I was making about going to a white school and you going to a Pakistani school. When you grow up in England, as our generation, where our parents are from Pakistan, they're very, very traditional, we've had to adapt a lot and we've had to change a lot and we've had to accept and adopt different norms to the point where we actually hate the norms of our parents.
Yeah, Myra goes to her family's house in the village and she just loves the atmosphere there.
You know how the grandparents are part of the home and they're valued even if they're old and they can't walk or whatever, but they're really valued and
they're accommodated for.
And it's not even just that they're accommodated for, they're needed. They're a part of the home. The kids love them, they go to them, they cuddle them, they kiss them, they do things for them.
But in the UK, grandma and granddad, oh my god, why are they here?
Yeah, oh no, now she's gonna need this.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's not everywhere, but I've seen it a lot in the UK compared to here, where we know we want our own room, we want our own space, whereas here people have grown up on top of each other, and it's become a norm.
Okay guys, so basically I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a summary of our experience of the UK and Pakistan. See you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, walaikum salam.